from Newsmax, which is actually quite funny. A shocking new projection from pollster Nate Silver has Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump winning every swing state en route to an election landslide over Vice President Kamala Harris, Mediaite reported Monday. So I think we have the interactive polls here. Look at this. Pennsylvania, Trump. Michigan, Trump. Wisconsin, Trump. Arizona, North Carolina, Georgia, Nevada. All Trump, 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 Trump. Polymarket, Trump is at 52%. It's just getting better and better for the guy. We can pull up the latest Silver Bulletin. Let me refresh this, actually. I think he's revised it, and it's even better. 64.4% Trump to win, with a projected electoral vote count of 281. I'm going to read that again for you. Trump is en route to an election landslide over Kamala Harris, and I'm reading this to get you really excited, because then when Kamala Harris wins, you'll be equally as disappointed. I tell you, if you're sitting here right now saying, woohoo, we're going to win, Trump's going to win, whatever, you're going to lose. It's only when you push as hard as you can and you get out there and you vote, you do whatever you have to do, you register your friends, you get everybody registered to vote, that's when you win. But the reality is, no matter what Nate Silver is telling you, we have no idea what's going to happen. So the only thing that matters is assume nothing. Assume nothing. You need to get out and do the work.
I can't tell whether it's kind of sweet or a nasty heckle that they've included Kennedy right at the bottom on the axis line there.
Sort of stops, though. Kennedy drops off as a landmark for us.
0% across the board.
Yeah. Look, I think all of this stuff is nonsense, to be honest with you, and I think the pollsters have not managed to figure out new methodologies that work with a snap candidate, that work with this election, that, you know, take into account everything that changed. Remember, a lot of things changed in 2019 and in the run-up to the 2020 election, the way votes are cast, the length of period of time you have to send in your vote, and I think pollsters really have not accounted for all of that, which is why this is not stuff all over the place.
It's not a poll.
No, it's not a poll. It's a percentage likelihood, right?
This is a prediction model.
And this is based off the same, it's the same sets of kinds of data that you're talking about.
I got to give Nate Silver a little bit more credit. He's talked about how he's updated the model over the past several years. He's selected for polls that are weighted more correctly. And more importantly, he said that the current skewing Trump is facing, the model actually predicted the increase. So people got, on the left, liberals, they got mad because he wasn't giving Kamala Harris the convention bump.
Sure.
And he was like, there's not going to be one. It's not happening. So they were like, no, the probability of her winning should go up because after the convention, she's going to see a poll increase. And he goes, no, she won't. And she didn't. And with this bump in Trump, he said recently, I think he said on X, that the projection model actually predicted Trump's likelihood to increase in the way we are seeing now. And or something to the effect of, we predict that the model predicted Kamala Harris's polls would not be improving, and they have not been. Now, he does say it's an opportune moment for her with the debate coming up because this is her chance to swing it back in, to bring it back around. I really don't think she can do that. So just so everybody knows, tomorrow night, special live show with members of Congress in D.C. as we're going to have on a rotating panel of various members of Congress who are going to comment on the debate. I imagine it's going to be very, very funny.
So just to come back on your point there for a second with the data that's going in. So firstly, you have to take into account that this is what Nate Silver believes are the more reliable polling that he works into his model, which I'm not necessarily sure I'm ready to do yet, is make that leap of trust there. And the reason I'm not ready to do that is because it goes back to my earlier point, is that those pollsters, right, you talk about the post-convention bump. There hasn't actually been a proper, mega measurable poll bump in the last several presidential elections now. I think going back to 2000, there hasn't been 3 or 4% you might get, but those are within the margins of error on a lot of these polls. So it's not like in the 70s where you'd have this and it would be everywhere, it'd be front page of every newspaper, and that's all people were seeing, and then people were telling the opinion pollsters, oh yeah, I did like what he said about this because it's on the front page for 3 fucking weeks straight after their convention. Now you're getting these immediacy, like tries to measure, they're measuring sentiment now, right, coming out of these things. How did you feel when she said this certain word and that certain word? And I think a lot of it is just dog shit.
Have